23 Consulting. We got Brooke Ziolo and Jackie Nelson. Say hello to all the listeners out there in the Lightfair online world.
Hello, Lightfair.
Hello, online world.
So tell me a little bit about you're at the show, you're
Yep.
walking around, you're meeting your clients, you're meeting your prospectives. Always more non-clients than clients, right? So you're meeting different people and you're talking to them about what is that issue in the lighting industry right now with respect to human resources? What do people want to know?
Lack of talent right now.
Lack of talent.
Yeah, there's a lot of people retiring. A lot of people left the industry from the pandemic era. So there's a pretty good missing amount of people from mid-level to senior level that people are looking for. A lot of sales positions people are looking to hire. Product development is huge right now.
So product development and sales is always a traditional. Jackie, what do you think? What's your cut on the lighting industry, and what do you think about all this? What's going on here?
About hiring
Yeah,
or the
hiring,
lighting industry?
hiring in the lighting industry, yeah.
I mean, it's a great question. I've only been doing this for about 6 months, so I probably don't have the insight that Brooke does, but I would have to agree with her on that.
Yeah, sales.
Yeah, sales. I have a lot of sales. Yeah, inside and outside.
So I brought Jackie on in November, and she's focusing on our lighting design niche, like MEP firms, specifying firms. So we've actually seen a lot of mid to senior level lighting design people looking for mid to senior level lighting designers.
And is it hard to find?
Yes and no. I mean, there are a lot of them. Are they all qualified for what they want? Maybe not, but I don't think that there's not enough of them. It's just what their experience is.
What kind of projects they work on, and the location.
Yeah. Right,
so
and
there's
the location.
A lot of
but I
lighting.
do feel as though there are a lot of lighting designers that's trying to find the right one for the right firm. That,
Cultural fit.
you're more like matching up correctly, but I don't think there's a lack of lighting designers.
And there's a lot in New York City. So
right, the bigger markets.
People that need them outside of those markets, like we've got positions in Texas and New Jersey, Philadelphia.
We have Texas. Oh, we have Dallas, Philadelphia, New York. We did fill 2 remote ones, which was much easier to fill because when it was 100% remote, you were able to draw from anyone, anywhere.
Sure.
So
and
that's
been a big hot button lately, as you can probably imagine. A lot of people want to work remote.
Right. So, but does it work?
Okay, so we actually had a client that did hire somebody remote, and they initially really liked that idea, but then started to feel lonely and wanted to be able to go into an office, and they left to go to a firm locally so they could be in the office 2 to 3 days a week.
It's interesting that some people, there are some people that can work from home or remote fine, and they do their job well. They tend to, the ones that are good at it tend to reduce the amount of hours they work, actually, because they get so good at their job and they're not distracted by water cooler talk, and they get into their routine, they get their stuff done, and they fulfill the value that their employer wants, and they do it within a shorter period of time. There's other people, though, that want to go to work and leave it there.
Yes.
And I think that's a higher percentage of the population. And I think most people are not the kind of people that can work unsupervised from home.
I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. Okay. There's a lot of people. I think the hybrid model has become very efficient.
Sure.
Where people are going into the office 2, maybe 3 days a week. They get that synergy between the team and
camaraderie.
And the creative flow and all of that, and then they can go home and focus and dial in on what they need to do with no water cooler talk. And
I have a software developer that works for me, and I force him not to come to the office because he needs that deep time. He needs that time to do his coding or whatever the heck he does. He needs that, and I can see the productivity. But I think a lot of people want. I think there's many people that have felt that because of the pandemic, that work has invaded their home and has invaded their personal life.
I feel that a little bit.
Do you? Yes. You feel it. Do you work from home? I guess.
And I just did since the pandemic. So I used to be only in the office, and now I'm 100% from home.
Yeah.
And now you can wake up earlier and start working, and your kids get home and you say hi, and then you're working and until I have to make the kids dinner.
Yes. So you're a mother.
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
Two.
Two. How old are they?
8 and, well, almost 9 and 11.
9 and 11.
Yeah.
So they need their mom sometimes at home,
Yeah.
not working for, not doing HR. They want to hang out with their mom.
Yeah.
And I find that the people, and this is only an observation by me, I find that the people that I've heard complain about this are women who are moms, actually.
That's been a big, and I'm a member of Wild too, and that's been a conversation about.
Has it within Wild? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
of the challenges of a working mom.
With homework, with having work from home.
Everything. And the sports. My kids are in swimming and basketball. So sometimes I have to leave at 4:15 and get them to their sports. But then I come back and you go to work. But a lot of, not just women, but
juggling.
Yeah, parents need that flexibility to take their kids places, but still get their work done.
I'm going to throw something out there. It's live streamed, so I might get in big trouble for this. Scott, don't cringe yet. No, but you know what? I think that, I think the idea of work-life balance being provided by the employer is the wrong model. I think people need to understand and enforce healthy boundaries in their lives, right? So if you don't want to respond to emails after 5 o'clock, don't respond to emails after 5 o'clock.
Yes. If it's not an emergency, I do agree with you.
Listen,
it's a personal, yes, you have to protect your time.
It's your response. It's not your employer's responsibility to make your work-life balance.
As long as the employer supports that. There's some employers that are demanding that you have to respond to emails all the time.
I don't think that's true.
There definitely are some companies that are.
Well, then they need to learn a lesson, folks. They need to learn a lesson.
But I definitely don't think that's a majority by any means.
But there are, yeah.
And there's sometimes you do need to respond to things if something's happening overseas with supplies or products or whatever. You need to respond to that. But if you have,
or if there's time zone issues, obviously sometimes the only time that you can, potentially speak with someone, depending on where they're at, is it,
But if you've got the flexibility and say, normally I've got to take my kids to sports. I've got to be there for dinner.
Sure.
I've got to protect these hours, and then I'm a little bit more flexible right when they go to bed for
half
hour.
I would say that that's your responsibility.
Yeah,
like to enforce your boundaries.
For the most extent, yeah. I agree with that.
So like a lot of people, when you say to them, I got an email. So we do a lot of live streaming, as you know, with Scott. And first of all, there's no ambulances. When people say it's an emergency, is there first responders there? What do you mean? Yeah. Is there any police, fire department, or ambulance?
Somebody on fire?
No. Then this is not an emergency, okay? Yeah. There's no light bulbs in the back of ambulances flying around Toronto, okay? It's not an emergency ever, right? The lighting industry, just so everyone knows that it's never an emergency.
Yeah.
But the second thing is, like, I get it. We're doing some live streaming, and so one of the producers sends out an email to one of our web developers. Hey, I'm having a problem. Can you change the link or something like this, right? Mm-hmm. That you posted, it's the wrong thing. Can you do it? Right? The person writes back, I'm not available 24/7. I can't do this and that. And like this big long email about how, she doesn't respond after this time and all sort of stuff. It's like,
I shouldn't have responded.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then why did you respond?
Why didn't you just change the damn link instead of wasting your time with the dumb email? Because it could take the same amount of time. Right. So people have to realize that the only way you enforce boundaries is by doing nothing, actually.
Yeah.
By not responding. That's how you do it.
Which is technically doing something as well. Even doing nothing is doing something.
By omission.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, and it's not like it's not like I'm have my boundaries. It's like I don't work between those hours. I'm not available. And so I think people need to know about that. I think in the new era we're living in now with the home working situation and all that, folks, you should know about it. But you can check out Egret Consulting. What's your website, Brooke?
egretconsulting.com.
egretconsulting.com.
Like the bird.
And what is a damn egret? It's a bird?
It's a bird.
What kind of bird is it? A bird of prey?
Kind of like a crane.
Big crane looking thing.
Yeah.
Is it beautiful?
It is. They're white.
So go to egretconsulting.com. Check them out. They're HR managers. They're also a newly minted member of our association, the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors, and they're going to be at our convention coming up in September at ArcLight, and so it's going to be a good time.
We're executive recruiters.
Executive recruiters. I like that term. That's a nice term. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
And all you out there, bye for now.
Bye, Lightfair.
Bye.